Hey, everybody. Today, I thought I would share with you a little bit about how I value or analyze short term rental properties. I do this daily for myself and for my clients, but I always get asked, like, Ed, how do you know if a short term rental property is going to work for you? So I thought I'd just start doing these on camera so you can kind of see my process and how we get there. So, first, let me introduce you to this property we're um, looking at today. Let's see if I can. All right, so here's the property. This is a um, short-term rental property in uh, Ocean City, Washington. And if I come over here, I think I can scroll through some photos for you. I hope. Let me just double check, make sure you can see this. Yes, great. So this is a beachfront property. The property owns all the way to the beach. It's a long, skinny, narrow lot, about 2 acres. It's a four-bedroom, uh, three bath. I do believe that's two and a half baths. I only see two full baths in the photos, but um, as you just saw, two full baths and a half. It has a hot tub, um, and the coolest thing about this property, in my opinion, is there's the beach right there. Um, you look out your front window, and if you clear some of the trees, which I think you're allowed to do because you own the property, you'll have a beach. You'll have a little bit better view of the beach right there. And as you can see, it's only a quarter of a mile. So this property came to my attention today on a Facebook post that the seller was thinking about selling it. I'm going to try to leave the address out of this because I don't want to promote or disparage the property at all. But I just want to kind of walk through how I look at it, right? So this property they're currently going to ask. Oh, so let me back up. It is currently rented or renting. They're asking for 46 a night on average. That may be a little high. I don't know. We'll take a look at that in a second. Um, Now the owner claims, so the owner is asking for five 49 for the property, and that's not unreasonable for this area. It might be a little high, but she's asking 549 for the property. One thing she said to me privately in a message was that she wasn't going to tell me the address until she found out whether or not I was a cash buyer or if I was already pre-approved. Now, to me, that's a red flag. If you're only going to tell me the address of the property after you find out I'm a cash buyer, that says that you're asking too much to me, and you're looking for a cash buyer because um, it's overpriced, and you don't want to have to deal with someone that's going to get an appraisal. Look, if I'm a cash buyer, I'm definitely getting an appraisal, unless I just know it's worth way more than I'm paying for it, right? So that's kind of the easiest thing to do there. Um, that's why it's a red flag to me. So she's asking 549, and if I let's see, let me share a different screen with you. She also has told me that she is making 80,000 a year in gross rent. Now I don't know if that's true or not. She'll have to show me um, some of those numbers or some of those receipts. Let me flip over to the screen. Make sure everyone can see my screen. Yep, great. So on this screen, you can see we've done a quick analysis. And if I can get rid of my banner real quick, there we go. And maybe move well, shoot, I don't know. There we go. Okay. So you can see we've done a quick analysis. And at her asking price of 549 right here. Oh, shoot, I don't know if you can see that. Let me go back to this page. Sorry. 549 right here. Uh, Assuming all these things, it'll cost us 132,000 to buy. It's already furnished, so we didn't have to have any furnishings. We didn't expect to have any immediate repairs. I put $5,000 in here for that in case we did, but really, $132,000 is our all-in cost. If we get a loan at 8%, which I expect we can get less than that, but that's what I put in there just to be safe. Better than safe than sorry. And it makes, if we come over here, and it makes 80,000 a year, that is what she tells us it does, at least, then sure, we'll come through our expenses, come all the way down. I'll let y'all kind of look at. You can stop the video later and look at the exact expenses and see how I lined it out. But it basically comes down to us making a net leverage cash flow of $700 a month. Now that's not bad, not great, but it's not bad. It's a cash on cash return of 6%, cap rate of 8. Really like to see the cash on cash return to be closer to 10, maybe 15, but that's the way it works. Now, this is kind of like their best case scenario, right? But when we look into it, and let me flip over, change tabs again, and we'll flip over and I'll show you what we actually think this property will make. I use a site called Rabu, and Rabu has this not quite making that much money. Now, Rabu's pulled in a bunch of properties from around this area and come up with some, we've told it 4 bedrooms, 4+ rating within 10 miles. We'd love to see it a closer distance, but because this is a coastline, I can really only pick a few properties in here. So the difference really, if you go back and you look at my other page, and let's see if, sorry, the sharing of the tabs is a little difficult. Let's see if I can do it this way. Oh. Whoa, glad this is a test. Okay, share screen, share Chrome tabs. So we're back on this screen. You can see on my Rev Pan, our Rev Pan is right here. It's in the left-hand side. Finally got it highlighted. Sorry, my computer's acting a little slow. But you can see my Rev Pan is highlighted there. So that is going to show me, that is a per night kind of definition. The definition of that is actually revenue per available night. The average revenue generated per available night of Airbnb or availability, right? Which is different than the ADR. ADR is average daily rate, which is the average rate you get when it's leased. But if you take nights booked and nights not booked, the average daily rate for nights it's available is 154, according to our analysis on Rabu. Now, to get to the 80,000, the 80,000 annual, she needs a Rev Pan of 220 a night. But according to Rabu, which looks at all the other available data out there in the marketplace, or Rabu, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Anyway, if you look at this other data source, it comes up with only $154 a night. So if we put in $154 a night as our Rev Pan, right, we suddenly get over here to a negative cash flow of $519 a month. Now, if this is a property that you want to buy and go to once a year, is it worth paying $6,000 to own that every year? Maybe, maybe not. It's just up to you, right? If you're a doctor and you make $1 million a year or $350,000 a year, and you could throw $6,000 at owning a property on the beach in Washington versus, $40,000 a year, then that's great, right? But if you're not and you want it to cash flow, at least to pay for itself, we can't possibly purchase it at $549,000, what she's asking. So with this spreadsheet, we can real quickly just decide what can we purchase it for in our model. So not $499, that still gives us a negative $224. What about $450? Now that's barely positive, right? So the $450 is your number if you were going to just buy and hold this property, right? And try to use it 2 weeks out of the year and just have a property that's basically paying for itself and have a free vacation. Now that's, of course, nothing going wrong, but nothing major going on. I have almost $3,000 in here for maintenance. And so, that's okay. That will cover some of your maintenance, but not all of it potentially. You could have something that really bad happens and then, oh no, what do you do from there, right? So what would you really pay for this if you were going to be a short-term renter landlord, right? And do this for profit? Is it 300? Let's see, 300,000. That gives you $1,000 a month, cash on cash return of 15%. That's not bad. Now, of course, the other thing you could do is you could pay a lot less, right? So right now we know the property is overvalued. Now is the property really overvalued? Yes, it is. What the owner is probably thinking is that we're still in the spring market, right? She's asking 549, and that's probably what it was valued in the spring when interest rates were what investor interest rates were 4%, right? At a 4% investor interest rate, you would have a positive cash flow of $600 a month at what we expect the Rev Pan to be according to Rabu, $56,000 a year in income, $549,000 ask price, right? So even then, you'd still want to get them down to like 499, right? That gets you up to 8% cash on cash, $800 a month. So it's like a 475, 475. Not even that. Wow. 465. Whoa, lost a zero there. All right, so 465, and you have a cash on cash return. Oh, really? Wow. So let's just say 450. So she's overvalued by 100K this from this spring, right? That's a 10% return. So if we wanted to get that 10% return at our 8% that we had here earlier, what are we going to have to do? We have to pay either 300,000, right? Yeah, because this is our 15% return, or at her asking price, what do we have to do to the Rev Pan? We have to get $200, $220 a night. Well, that doesn't even do it. $250 a night, I think. Ooh, maybe 275. $275. So we have to get from a Rev Pan that is expected in the market of $154 a night to a Rev Pan of $275 a night. Could we do that? Maybe. And maybe her numbers are real for the she's claiming for the 3 months between July or the beginning of June and September, she's done $80,000. So, it's $1,000 a night almost. 80,000 divided by 90 nights. It's $880 a night. That's possible, not likely, because if we go back and look, let me see, present, share screen. Nope. Go back and look. She's really only asking for 446 at night, right? Now we can go forward and see if she has next summer. She does have next summer available. So weekend and next summer. She's only asking $635 a night for a weekend next summer. So she's claiming she's made $880 a night for this summer. Doesn't really seem to be the case, does it? Right? Not quite enough. Let's see. Sorry for the dead air. So going back to our analysis, let me see. Stop screen, present, share screen. Move this guy over here so I can share this window. Maybe a better way to do it. Right. Sorry, guys. Learning. So if we have this, this property that we think is making a bunch of money. Oh, this is so much better. Sorry, I did not do this at the beginning. We think this property is going to make $90,000 a year. The people that do the analysis think it's going to make $56,000 a year, right? So we have this delta of $35,000. So if it does 80 that she's claiming, that's a Rev Pan of 220 a night. The analysis thinks we have a Rev Pan of 154 a night. So there's really that's $70 a night difference. I don't think we can make it up. Even if she does 635 during the summer, you'd have to do something to get the Rev Pan up for the winter months, because you're gonna have a lot of winter months where no one's going to be interested in it. So my analysis of the property would be, I guess it's real simple, right? You either have to raise the Rev Pan, which you could do potentially if you take some better pictures and probably put it out there on more sites. But if you can't get the nightly rate up, then you're not going to be able to afford it, essentially, right? So it's overvalued, and it's overvalued by a lot. I think the best case scenario, if you had a private lender who could do it, let's say you can get a private lender to do it at 4%. I think the best case scenario, 450 is the price. So that's overvalued by 100K. It's a lot, especially when you see the market in the Seattle, Washington area coming down by as much as 20% in a year. So I don't know. Anyway, this is just kind of an experiment for me. I hope if you saw it, it wasn't horrible. And if I recorded it, I hope it's helpful later. If you have any questions about how I do this, feel free to post a comment somewhere below. And I'll probably jump on tomorrow and do another one. Maybe it'll be better. Let's hope it'll be better. Anyway, hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time.